Welcome to Trevelis, your go-to channel for travel inspiration and unforgettable adventures. Today, we're taking you on a journey through 10 of the most scenic drives in Europe, where every turn feels like stepping into a postcard. From the iconic coastal roads of Italy to hidden gems tucked away in the mountains of Romania, we've curated the ultimate list of drives you absolutely have to experience. Whether you're planning your next road trip or just dreaming of escaping to somewhere magical, these scenic routes will leave you inspired. So, buckle up and get ready to discover Europe's most spectacular roads. We're starting our journey in Germany, on the iconic Romantic Road, a 400-kilometer route that takes you straight through the heart of Bavaria. It's like stepping into a fairy tale. Imagine medieval castles perched on hilltops, their towers reaching for the sky. You'll meander through charming villages with half-timbered houses, their colorful facades adorned with flower boxes overflowing with blooms. One of the highlights of the Romantic Road, and a sight you simply can't miss, is the world-famous Neuschwanstein Castle. This fairy tale castle, perched high on a cliff, looks like it's been plucked straight from a Disney movie. Another gem along the way is the picturesque town of Rothenburg ob der Tauber, a perfectly preserved medieval town. You'll feel like you've stepped back in time as you wander through its cobblestone streets lined with shops selling traditional crafts and treats. The best time to experience the magic of the Romantic Road? I'd recommend late spring or early autumn. In the spring, the flowers are in full bloom, painting the landscape in vibrant colors, and in the autumn, the trees transform into a kaleidoscope of golden hues. It's truly magical. At number 9, we have the Wild Atlantic Way in Ireland, one of the longest defined coastal drives in the world. This isn't just a drive, it's a journey through Ireland's rugged soul. Imagine driving 2,500 kilometers along Ireland's west coast, the wind in your hair, the salty air on your skin. This route offers jaw-dropping views of dramatic cliffs plunging into the churning Atlantic Ocean. One of the most awe-inspiring stops along the Wild Atlantic Way is the Cliffs of Moher. These majestic cliffs rise 700 feet above the Atlantic Ocean, offering breathtaking panoramic views that will leave you speechless. As you continue your journey, be sure to explore the charming fishing villages of Galway and Dingle. The Wild Atlantic Way is a journey that stays with you long after you've returned home. It's a place to disconnect from the hustle and bustle of everyday life, and reconnect with nature's raw beauty. Next up, we're heading to Norway for the Atlantic Ocean Road, a drive often called the Road to Nowhere. And while it might not lead to a specific destination, it's the journey itself that makes this drive so unforgettable. It's short, stretching just over 8 kilometers, but absolutely thrilling. Imagine driving across a series of low bridges that connect small islands, the road seeming to rise and fall with the ocean itself. On stormy days, and trust me, Norway gets its fair share of those, it feels like you're driving on the edge of the world. Waves crash against the bridges, sending plumes of spray high into the air. It's a wild, exhilarating experience. But on clear days, oh, the views. You'll be treated to breathtaking vistas of the Norwegian coastline with its jagged peaks, deep fjords, and scattered islands. A must-see stop on the Atlantic Ocean Road is the Storseisundet Bridge. This iconic bridge gives the illusion of disappearing into thin air as you approach it. It's a popular spot for photos and a true engineering marvel. Sticking with Norway, our number 7 spot takes us to Trollstigen, also known as the Troll's Ladder. Now this one's not for the faint of heart, but it's an experience you won't soon forget. Picture this, a serpentine mountain road winding its way up a near-vertical mountainside. You'll navigate 11 sharp hairpin turns, each one offering more dramatic views than the last. You'll pass steep cliffs, their faces etched with waterfalls cascading down to the valley floor. The highlight of Trollstigen, and the reason you brave those hairpin turns, is the Trollstigen viewing platform at the top. From here you'll be rewarded with a panoramic view that's worth every twist and turn on the way up. Now a word of warning. Trollstigen is not for those who are afraid of heights. The road is narrow, the drops are steep, and you might even have to share the road with a tour bus or two. But trust me, the views are more than worth it. Returning to Ireland, our next scenic drive takes us to the Ring of Kerry, a 179-kilometer loop around the Iveragh Peninsula. This is Ireland at its most charming, a place where time seems to move a little slower. Imagine driving through a landscape that shifts from rugged coastlines to rolling green hills. You'll pass by picturesque villages, each with its own unique character, where you can stop for a pint of Guinness and a chat with the locals. History buffs will love exploring the ancient stone forts and castles that dot the landscape, remnants of Ireland's rich past. One of the highlights of the Ring of Kerry is the Killarney National Park. This stunning park is home to the impressive Torque waterfall, which cascades down a rocky mountainside, and the serene lakes of Killarney, where you can take a boat trip or simply relax and enjoy the scenery. The Ring of Kerry is best enjoyed at a leisurely pace. Take your time, savor the views, and maybe even stop for a traditional Irish stew along the way. At number 5, we're climbing into the French Alps with the Route des Grandes Alpes. Now, this drive is for those who like their scenery with a side of adrenaline. This high-altitude drive stretches over 700 kilometers, taking you from the shores of Lake Geneva to the sparkling Mediterranean Sea. Along the way, you'll wind your way through 17 mountain passes, including some of the highest in Europe. Prepare to be wowed by the sheer scale and grandeur of the Alps. Towering peaks, their summits often shrouded in clouds, rise up on either side of the road. You'll pass glacial lakes, their turquoise waters reflecting the surrounding peaks, and lush green valleys, where wildflowers bloom in a riot of color. Cyclists might recognize parts of this route from the Tour de France, and for good reason. The climbs are challenging, the descents are exhilarating, and the views are simply breathtaking. Coming in at number 4 is Italy's Stelvio Pass, a road that's often described as the king of mountain passes. And for good reason. This is a drive that will test your driving skills and reward you with some of the most stunning scenery the Italian Alps have to offer. Imagine this, 48 hairpin bends on the northern side alone, each one a tight, twisting turn that will test your nerve and your car's handling. But as you ascend towards the 2,757-meter summit, you'll understand why this road is a pilgrimage for driving enthusiasts. The views are simply incredible. You'll be surrounded by the towering peaks of the Italian Alps, their slopes covered in forests and meadows. On a clear day you can see for miles in every direction. Now, a word of warning. The Stelvio Pass is only open during the summer months from around June to September. But if you're lucky enough to drive it during the summer, trust me, it's an experience you'll never forget. At number 3, we have the legendary Transfăgărășan road in Romania, a road often hailed as one of the most beautiful in the world. And trust me, it lives up to the hype. This winding highway, built in the 1970s as a military route, cuts through the heart of the Carpathian Mountains, offering jaw-dropping views at every turn. Imagine driving through tunnels carved into the mountainside, emerging into the sunlight to be greeted by breathtaking vistas of forested slopes, plunging valleys, and towering peaks. One of the highlights of the Transfăgărășan road is the glacial Balea Lake. This stunning lake, perched high in the mountains, is a sight to behold, its turquoise waters reflecting the surrounding peaks. Another must-see is the Vidraru Dam, a marvel of engineering that holds back a massive reservoir. The views from the top of the dam are simply breathtaking. Now, a word of warning. The Transfăgărășan road is not for the faint of heart. Taking the number 2 spot is the Amalfi Coast Road in Italy, a cliffside drive that's as dramatic as it is beautiful. This is a road that will stay with you long after you've returned home, a place where you'll dream of returning again and again. Imagine this, 50 kilometers of winding coastal road clinging to the cliffs, offering unparalleled views of the turquoise waters of the Tyrrhenian Sea. You'll pass through pastel-colored villages, their houses seemingly stacked on top of each other, clinging to the steep slopes. Some must-visit stops along the way include the picturesque towns of Positano, with its colorful houses cascading down to the sea, Ravello, perched high on a clifftop offering breathtaking views, and Amalfi itself, a charming town with a rich history. Now, a word of warning. The Amalfi Coast Road is not for the faint of heart. The roads are narrow, the turns are sharp, and the traffic can be, well, Italian, but trust me, the views make it worth every moment. And finally, our number 1 scenic drive in Europe, the Grossglockner High Alpine Road in Austria. This is it, folks, the pinnacle of scenic driving. This legendary 48-kilometer route takes you through the heart of the Austrian Alps, right to the foot of the country's highest peak, the Grossglockner. Prepare to be wowed by a landscape of snow-capped mountains, their peaks often shrouded in clouds, emerald green meadows dotted with wildflowers, and glacial streams cascading down the mountainsides. One of the highlights of the Grossglockner High Alpine Road is the Edelweiss Spitze viewpoint. From here you'll be treated to a panoramic view that will take your breath away. You can see for miles in every direction, the peaks of the Alps stretching out before you like a giant relief map. Another must-see is the Pastersee Glacier, Austria's largest glacier. Keep your eyes peeled for wildlife. The Grossglockner High Alpine Road is home to a variety of alpine animals, including marmots, ibex, and even the occasional golden eagle soaring overhead. So there you have it, the Grossglockner High Alpine Road, a drive that will stay with you long after you've returned home. And there you have it, the top 10 most scenic drives in Europe. Which of these roads is calling your name? Let us know in the comments below. From winding coastal roads with the sea breeze in your hair, to breathtaking mountain passes that will test your driving skills and reward you with unforgettable views, Europe is a treasure trove of unforgettable drives that belong on every traveler's bucket list. Thanks for joining us on this amazing ride, and until next time, keep exploring, keep dreaming, and as always, happy travels.